Created for you by one of the top therapists in this field, this short video is one of a series offering easy to understand explanations of fear, anxiety and phobias. If you or someone close to you has a related condition, keep watching now for useful information, advice and suggestions for self-help. Patterns that run the mind. Sticking to layman's terms and explanation, it can be interesting to consider how a phobia or an anxiety is simply a pattern. Admittedly an inappropriate pattern, but merely a pattern nonetheless. Understanding this basic idea is the foundation of many successful anxiety treatments and phobia cures. You see, the brain is a pattern-making machine, set up to spot and create patterns whenever possible, the idea being to make your life easier. Thanks to this wonderful mental mechanism, we can talk, walk, drive, without having to think about it. Those patterns just run automatically like so many others which guide and shape our lives. But admittedly, it's not always perfect. So before we get to the universal mistake which all of us make, let's start off slow. Look around the room you're in. Now I'm guessing there's a door somewhere, isn't there? Okay, so how do you know it's a door? Now you'll be forgiven for thinking, hold on, Michael's lost it. He's asking stupid questions. Because, for heaven's sake, it's a door. Well, yes it is. But you see, that's the point. You don't think about it. You just know it's a door. What you obviously don't do is something like this. Okay, let me see if I can work this out. It's about 7 foot high, 3 foot wide, hinges on one side, handle on the other. It opens and closes in a hole of the same size as the frame around it. It goes between two spaces and I can walk from one space to another. Ah, it's a door! No, of course you don't, because if you had to do that, then you would have to do that for everything else too. And you would never get around to doing anything because your brain was too busy working everything out first. Now, instead, we have patterns of recognition, gradually learned from birth, called upon in nanoseconds and running on autopilot the whole time, so we don't have to think about it. But then we have how to use a door. Okay, so how many times have you walked into a door when it clearly says pull, and even gives you a nice big handle, yet you still go to push it? Like I said, a universal mistake we have all made. Now a simple explanation would be that a lot of doors swing both ways, so you can push or pull. And as it is easier to push a door rather than pull a door, it naturally follows that we push more doors than we pull. So the brain naturally decides, aha, push one door, push another, push another. All doors are push, and the rule is created and you no longer need to think about it. Your mental pattern will naturally run on autopilot and have you colliding with doors on a regular basis. So now let's open the door to understanding anxiety and phobias. In a way, a phobia or anxiety is just like that misfiring pattern of how to operate a door. At some point in your life you learned how to feel the fear, and your mind thinks it's a good idea to just run that on autopilot so you don't have to think about it. More than likely, it is driven by the normally helpful need for self-preservation. However, like the door, it is not that useful. This automatic pattern also tends towards the creation of a negative focus, so you can avoid the risks. And now we have an example of what I talk about in another video about focus. In other words, we tend to find what we go looking for, and in this example that means more negatives. And just to seal the deal, being self-aware, you now comment on your behaviour, and so what I call the more rule comes into play too, where the more you think and the more you talk about it, the more you feel it, ever increasing the symptoms of anxiety and fear. The good news is you can learn and unlearn quickly and easily. By understanding the structure of a phobia or anxiety, a trained specialist like those associated with the Edinburgh Phobia Clinic can quickly help you unlearn the patterns of the phobia, fear or anxiety. Similarly, new patterns can be created in seconds as the brain is always ready to spot and hardwire new patterns. And that is because the brain never stops being a pattern-making machine. To demonstrate this, just answer these questions in quick succession without too much thought. What is the colour of snow? What is the colour of a typical piece of blank paper from a printer? What is the colour of the video screen at the moment? What do cows drink? Are you sure? Really sure? So what was all that about? Well, if you're like most people, your brain spotted the pattern and started to think ahead. It's okay, got this one covered. This guy is asking about the white stuff, and I am ready. Let's do this. And so you give the white answer, which is of course wrong. Because if, like 99% of people who do this, you said milk, then you are wrong. Cows don't drink milk, they drink water. They create milk. Now, you may have been part of that 1% who didn't fall for it, which is great, but nonetheless, it's intriguing to consider how so many people do fall for it. This pattern making is always ongoing, so whatever the case, it's nice to know your brain is ready and waiting to create new patterns. And now, it's time to change your patterns and create new ones, and kick that anxiety into touch. You see, it's never too late to get your life back. I've had clients who've had decades of misery, only for it to disappear forever in one treatment. The human mind is a wonderful thing, and together I know we can get yours back on track and beat the fear, banish the anxiety, and kiss goodbye to the phobia. So, for more details, just contact the Edinburgh Phobia Clinic on 0131 208 5335, or alternatively fill in the boxes on the side of the website on the right hand side at www.edinburghphobiaclinic.co.uk. Thank you for watching. If you want access to all of these videos and related articles, just visit our website www.edinburghphobiaclinic.co.uk. That's www.edinburghphobiaclinic.co.uk, and once at the site, simply go to the articles section. As a final comment, we suggest you always seek professional help from a trained specialist when wishing to deal with fear, phobia, anxieties, or any related condition. Thank you for watching.